careful, Primaris. These Mortis Radzones are subtle killers. Even behind your power armor, you are not entirely safe.
Mission 8 of the Blood Angels campaign has us having to cross the Mortis Radzone, an entire irradiated zone that is going to make our units take 50% more basic range damage and basic melee damage. It is going to be a killing floor out here. We have to cross the map diagonally, and with all of these chasms here, we do have a challenge on picking our route. We either need to swing all the way to the top of the map and then make it across, or we can span this land bridge here in the center. But first we're going to want to scout out what our enemies have in store for us. Our warband is looking a little bit different than it has in other missions. We have completely removed the assault squad right now in favor of the inceptors that we got new as of the previous mission. So really looking forward to seeing how well these guys do. They are tooled so well for being able to deal with the enemy swarm units that I had to bring them in a big way to be able to show off what they're able to do. They just have us from all sides. Exocrine over here, and then Venomthropes up front. Ooh, things are going to get ugly indeed. We're going to push these Inceptors up to be able to get sight lines out here. And of course, there are more enemies. These the ones, the Hormagaunts. We should be able to deal with them pretty well with the Inceptors. Just be able to throw the Overwatch out in that direction. And they have to run into us. Now, I have to decide what's more dangerous, an Exocrine or these Venomthropes that are looking to push in against us. I think I kind of just throw out the Overwatch here. And then, honestly, because I know that they're going to need to move in towards me, we throw the Overwatch here as well. His optimum range is 2, so they will move into his optimum range over there. The real key here is going to be to see if the Hellblasters are going to have range. They do have really long range weapons, and we have the spotter out there for them. Hey, 51% to hit. Let's see if we can make that a little bit better with Lieutenant Carly in here. Tactical precision, man. Yeah, 68, much better. So 1 point off of nice. That's what I want to see. The other Hellblasters are likely going to be out of luck. So if I move the priest forward and then begin to shuffle the intercessors.
Plasma fire support ready.
Yeah, they don't quite have the reach to make it out there. Unfortunate. Honestly, I think I just take the shots against the Venomthropes with these Hellblasters then.
Battle line squad ready.
And I use these intercessors to try and have range.
Ranged plasma.
There we go. Exocrine down. We have a deep and abiding hatred of their kind after what they did to us in the previous mission. What do we want to do with these 3 units of Inceptors? We can pop their jetpacks or jump packs to be able to sling them a little bit farther forward, but I think I would prefer to hold them back. Play a little bit more conservatively here at the start. I love that they do just fly around as like their basic way of moving. It's so good. So then these guys, we're going to kind of stretch their overwatch beyond where their weapon really wants to be firing. And then these guys are just going to look straight ahead. And we are set to see what this Tyranid first turn is going to look like. Last time it took like 5 minutes for them to process their turns. That turn went really well for us. We were able to thin out their numbers, see where the enemies are approaching from, which is, of course, all corners. But we should be able to be in a good spot to deal with this. I'm going to fire over here and then look to bring the bikes back at the next opportunity, because these guys I don't think are going to have good reach to be able to make it all the way out here. Two of them survived. The survivors. Playing on multiplayer is pampering me a little bit because I'm used to the lower stats on all the Tyranid units. Here's a brand new enemy unit though, the Thornback, 4 movement, 5 evasion, 7 armor, 300 health, and his unique tooling here is the Thorned Armor. Deals 11 to 15 damage with 5 armor piercing to units that deal melee damage to this unit, and assuming that he has all of his abilities, he's going to have a battering ram charge where he's able to use his movement to pass through a number of units, dealing damage to them, and then deal a lot of damage to the unit that he is specifically targeting with his charge. I am sure that the AI is going to be garbage at being able to actually target that, but nevertheless, it is something to look out for. We're going to want to have the Hellblasters deal with this guy. So we're going to swing the Hellblasters around, be able to leverage all of the armor piercing that I can. I want to move out slowly here because I don't want them to be caught overextended, but moving directly behind the Thornback gives us additional crit chance and hit chance, and then they were augmented with tactical precision, meaning that they have more accuracy and a little bit of extra armor piercing. Withering Barrage.
There is a disturbance amongst the radiation. It was once stronger, but has dwindled in days past. Is it guidance, or the promise of another threat, like Leviathan? I see myself standing among specters. My hands once more, flesh. They are unable to hold back the sword that pierces my chest, seeking my heart's blood. I look down, and only feel the fists of this war machine. The whisper pulls again. It says nothing, but it is a presence all the same. It is not a synaptic aberration, but I tell Carleon it must be, for what else would drive me here? Not much of Baal Secundus has surprised the new Primaris, but the threat of the Mortis Radzones has their hearts beating furiously. Few things are more insidious than cultivating your death from the inside. This truth I know well.
Here come all of the gargoyles, and they really don't want these intercessors to be able to shoot worth a darn. Stacking the blinding venom. Now, stacking status effects in this game actually does nothing, so it doesn't matter that they stacked them, but they still... I mean, it adds the poison damage, I suppose. But that's all. I don't think the poison damage stacks either, like if I check. Yeah, I think it's still going to do the same amount of poison damage either way, too. This is exactly what we brought the Inceptors to be able to deal with, because they just chew through the gargoyles here. Oh, look at this. Single rally, and they killed 7 there? No, they killed 5. 3 left. But it is a thing of beauty to watch them go to work like this. Interesting, this rock does not actually... there's the extras. Okay. We'll move back a little bit. But I want to keep eyes over there. And it's good that we spotted them. So now the question is, do I want to push these Inceptors up to be able to lay down Overwatch, or swing them across to wear out the gargoyles? I think that pushing them up is a better decision, because we have plenty of other units that will be able to wear out the gargoyles. We're going to set up our Overwatch. I'm actually going to set it up a little bit longer, just so that the gargoyles don't manage to stay out of our range and will actually be forced to take this damage. Run up the Hellblasters. We're starting to lag behind. And then the bikes are pretty happy in this position. Yeah, very happy in this position. Okay, Brother Quindar. I mean, I suppose I heal him up and then I can also armor him up. Yeah, extra armor here. Walking over the corpses of the gargoyles.
The Whisper is ahead. Codicia Mordos, last known wielder of Galleon's staff. His fate, following the invasion, had been unknown to the Librarius.
Well, we've got a pretty good idea what happened to him now. No sign of that Falstaff, though. Would be a damn disgrace to lose that relic out here.
I am duty-bound to recover the Codicia's geneseed. Even if it is tainted by the radiation, High Priest Corpulo may have use for it in his research.
Getting the grenade upgrade on the Intercessors had to be one of the best upgrades that you can possibly take here in the campaign. Because you're just guaranteed to fight against so many swarm units that you know you're going to get a lot of value out of that one. We're going to slip back here. And I feel very good about this mission so far. That undoubtedly means that there is going to be a lot more coming against us soon, because the campaign has never been one to throw in an easy mission or pull a punch. The gargoyles chose not to approach directly where we had our overwatches set, so that is a little bit unfortunate to see, but Quindar should pretty happily be able to chew through these guys, though his accuracy is absolute garbage. What is this? Base accuracy is only 50 on this weapon, and its optimal range is 2, so it's falling off to 10, which means his base accuracy is 40, and then their evasion is kicking in. And because they have... Nope, Swarm Tactics is only... Yeah, Swarm Tactics only changes their damage. There's another unit, the Gene Stealers, whereas Swarm Tactics, for them... Or they have an extra connection that will improve their evasion. I guess I'll take the 35 to hit then. It's not great. Probably should have been using the halberd. here is where our path forks. We can either decide to go north, up the map this direction, and then circle back around, or we can cut across this narrow area to make it up. I'm actually in favor of pushing straight ahead because it doesn't seem like the enemy's swarm is overwhelming in this area, at least not at the moment. It seems like things are balanced to actually be manageable for once in the campaign, which is nice to see, probably because everything taking place on the Mortis Radzone means that if you were to make a misplay in this situation, oh, if I jump pack them over, they could be in big trouble. Okay, so we want to send a scout over first just to get vision on where they're going to land, and then we're going to jump them across. Ah, yes. A thornback. Ah, beautiful, beautiful. Send over help! We can kind of even use the Hellblasters to support, which pretty great, shows how long their range is. The rear guard. Always with the Overwatchers, looking over our shoulders. The Blood Angels will never be caught unawares.
They will fear to tread close.
Here comes the battering ram attack. This is where he is charging. Because it's considered a charge, we were able to have a reaction with our pistol attack. And then because he charges through units, he goes through their zones of control. This is why I think the Thornback is a garbage unit, because we were also able to get a pistol attack. Those Inceptors, they have only ranged weapons, but they are also considered to exert a zone of control, unlike any other ranged unit. So when the Thornback tried to move through, he got the reaction shot from the unit he was charging, and then he also got... Oh no! Are they just gone? No, I have one unit left. He also got hit with the pistol shot from moving through the enemy's zone of control. And then Exocrine decides to just show up and crash the party, taking away 2 of my Inceptor models. Alright, he's gonna pay for that. Make him pay, Quindar. Not a lot of baddies out on this direction. We're going to keep these guys out here as a scouting force. Their Overwatch should be able to protect them pretty well, as we saw against the Thornback, and then we're waiting for their jump packs to be able to recharge so that they can rejoin the main force here. Okay, we are able to take a few pot shots out here, so the Intercessors are going to go first, then they're going to advance. The Hellblasters are going to take their spot. They're going to receive tactical precision from Carleon, and then they are going to go long range over into the Exocrine, looking to soften him up as much as possible before Quindar lays in with the Force Halberd. We'll see how much work we're really able to do. Cutting it down to half health definitely feels good. This shot not as accurate, but with, hey, battle line tactics, able to hit a lot better, and because he is sitting on top of a rad zone, he's taking double damage from what he normally would. I'm not sure what exact calculations are going into that quote-unquote double damage, if, like, when armor is taken into effect, is it taken into effect before or after the doubling? Because that makes an enormous difference in the way that combat is calculated here in Battlesector. Nevertheless, taking range shots in the Rad Zone, very bad. That is the simple answer that's always going to be true. Windar hits so hard. So hard. Because, again, of the Rad Zone, I believe. The Rad Zone making the enemies take the extra 50% melee damage as well. Really wearing them out. Where do I want to throw the bikes? I think the bikes go up. I mean, this is going to be just a mess of moving guys across this narrow land bridge. So, we'll do what we can, but it's not going to be pretty. Okay, now we're starting to see a lot of motion on the Tyranid side out of our vision. They do have a contingent ready to stop you if you were to move across this portion of the map, able to put a little bit of poke damage onto some of our Inceptors out here, which we will punish many times over. These guys do way too much damage. I kind of want to just send them across, back to the main force. Even one Inceptor is able to do 40 damage against that thornback. So strong. Okay, but here's where the magic happens with the aggressors. Moving up, let's see, do we have anybody who can soften him up a little bit first? Yeah, these Incessors. Now we just come in with the melee attack, and we realized we didn't even need to soften them up at all. They hit so hard, especially on the Mortis Radzone. The enemy's irradiated bodies crumble beneath our fists. I wanted to come around and just kind of have a line of sight over to this area. And then taking the 75% chance to hit was so good. We were able to drop that thornback. Very happy to see that. And now is where the rear guard kind of falls out of formation. Then again, we have not seen much motion back here to be concerned about. So we will still set the Overwatch, but I am not very worried about any monsters appearing on the horizon over there. I have to say that the dead thornback has to be one of the creepiest things here in Battlesector, all sprawled out with his tail and his spines. So there's still a significant enemy presence. They're putting reinforcements over here onto this area, and then there's plenty of units that are just outside of our line of sight. Though I think that pretty soon here we're going to have full vision of the enemies. Let's see, so the Venom actually does apply 2 grenades. Unfortunate. And then our melee attack is only 60 to hit? It's only ranged accuracy. Why would the gauntlet's accuracy be so low? I suppose the gargoyles do have high evasion. We'll throw in these punches. Just a few more swarm units to be able to clear up here. Our grenades really doing work for us. This lone Inceptor proving why that class of unit is so dang good. Able at a single model to still function effectively in my formations. Excellent. Didn't want to have to waste the shot. But I have not seen any motion behind me, so I'm gonna go ahead and fire facing forward here. Keep the Tech Marine around Quindar. There's plenty of enemies moving up here, so I'm not gonna push Quindar any farther forward. Now it's more the enemies on this side that are concerning. But we have these men up on the high ground. I'll be able to make short work of some of these guys. Oh my gosh, there's only one left. I kind of want to just keep these guys up here and be able to handle what the enemy reinforces with out on this direction. I can even move the land speeder up to do some hit and run. There they are. How much do I want to commit to this hit and run? They found good cover. We'll swing around. Does that give me a poke? It does not. Okay, one more space. Change facing again. Low chance to hit. Unfortunately, that basically exhausts the land speeder's movement, so he has to move back now. Okay, the enemy got a lot of good shots in against us over here. We'll see how well we can return fire to thin them out. It could be a situation where we're going to change out what units are left up here. 2 models over there, 2 models over there, 1 injured Inceptor, headed off to the priest. And these guys will back up, even though that... interesting. This puts them on a rad zone. So is it better to have cover and be on a rad zone, or be in the open and not be on a rad zone? I'm gonna choose not on the rad zone. And then these guys, even though, I mean, they're also a little bit damaged, they will be the next up on top of the hill. Now that we have the Surge charged up, the Red Thirst, our Librarian Dreadnought Thirsts, we're able to score so many crits, really improving his damage output, which is pretty impressive already. And now, I think we kind of reposition our units to be able to deal with the enemies that have been placing themselves, working their way into that corner of the map. And we're going to run Brother Arto forward to be able to pick up the geneseed. The rest of these units, I suppose we just kind of group them together in the center here.
Battle line squad ready.
I'm sure that the enemy has plenty of reinforcements left, and they will undoubtedly come from all over, so try and face in all directions, not be surprised, and pass the turn. Well, we still have not seen anything from our friend the Tyrannifex. It's like a broken bike here in the terrain. Wondering if that has appeared on the horizon against us, but most likely not. We'll pop up here and be able to pick up the geneseed, and then we can fall back to kind of our central position. Objective complete, but now we have to eliminate the rest of the Tyranid forces. No sign of the quote-unquote weapon. I wonder if that is actually out here on the map, and if we explore enough we would be able to find it, or if that is going to be for a later mission. The enemies are still gaining reinforcements. Their number is going from 10 to 11 there during their turn. So it's our job to kill them faster than they are able to spawn out onto the map. Which I will oblige to do.
Ready to strike.
Yeah, I want to be aggressive with the aggressors. It's in the name. They'll come up. We will keep on thinning these guys out. But when there's an enemy unit with just a single model left, that is the perfect job for my surviving Inceptor over here. What else are we looking at on this corner? Let's send the bike out to get eyes. We do have Hormagons up there. Trying to remember if they got more reinforcements on this corner. Doesn't look like it. Oh, they did. Actually, those guys are already damaged, so they've just retreated back there. Drop the assault squad. There we go. It didn't want to go the first time, so they drop. If they drop on a unit, they get a free attack. Ooh.
Close combat support.
They deal a lot of damage when the enemy is sitting on a red zone.
Swarm has no right to live.
Yeah. Ah, there's a few survivors. Come on, assault squaddies. You know you could have done better than that. So, a few final enemies that we need to clean up. These guys over here, these guys over here. We'll run these Inceptors over, or Intercessors. I don't know what unit I have selected. Only 2 enemies remain. We have survived the red zone. Let's see, who will the kills go to? We'll sling the bike around, and then let's throw Carleon in for the charge.
On my honor.
All Xenos life forms have been eliminated, and the Codicia's gene seed is safe with Brother Aetoro.
You know, I tried recreating Galleon Stick once. Spent 200 days in the forge putting together an exact replica. Couldn't get a sliver of effect.
What did you do with it?
Snapped it in half. Shattered my kneecap in the process. Not my finest moment, I'll admit.
The synaptic network remains our primary focus. Galleon's relic won't be of much help if High Fleet Leviathan envelops us with its return.
Mission 8 is in the books, and with this we have been able to unlock the Baal Predator tank. This is going to be really fun to be able to work into our list, especially if we can get the flamethrower on the tank. I am trying to get the upgrade path to be able to put flamethrowers onto something. I'm also trying to kind of max out the intercessor stat line, because once they get their grenades and then upgraded rifles, etc., they are going to destroy the swarm wherever we find them. So We'll see where the campaign brings us next. Looking forward to the next episode. Thank you guys, and have a good one.